This was something which I was really inclined. So despite I got 99 and 97 in math and science, but still I opted for management.
Okay. So we have one long awaiting time. Our all India topper, pranav.tulshyan, is with us. We'd like to welcome him in this program. Welcome, Pranav, to the
Thank you so
program.
much, sir. First of all, thanks to Mukti Adal sir as well for giving me this opportunity to interact with the young students, and I could see there were great speakers who gave their valuable time and inputs for guiding the students towards what they should decide after the class 10th. So, okay, so I would be discussing a bit of what are the prospects. I will be speaking in English and little bit Nepali as well. So, Dubai mix kare bolsu. So the topic the topic which I will cover is, one is the prospects after choosing management as a career. What are the various career options? And next, my journey as a chartered accountant. Okay, so starting with the career prospects in management. So one thing which I always believed on, and this is my personal favorite quote by Steve Jobs, and I've been following this since I joined CPT. The thing he says is, the only way to do great work is love what you do. Okay, so this is something that since we are deciding on a career choice ki science liu, management में अपनी kuncha liu, business studies liu, computer science liu. So the thing is that we all want to be successful, right? Successful, if you want to become, the only thing is that you have to love what you do. This is the core thing, because only based on that anyone like Steve Jobs or Satya Nadella or Sundar Pichai, who sir was mentioning, they all have become successful because they loved what they do. Right, so I just want to show here my SLC marks it, and if you could see here the marks. So one thing which you would be able to see is the marks in mathematics and science. So math I got 99, and in science I got 97. So now after looking at this marks, my mom, my dad, not my parents, but my relatives, my friends, my teachers, everyone said, yeah, Pranav, you go for science. Science is for you, and you should either opt for a doctor or an engineer. And I personally liked science. I liked science, I liked mathematics, I liked numbers as well. So that was the area which I liked. But I saw that my interest, because people say that the career choice is not driven by marks, it is driven by interest. So though my marks were very great in science, great in maths, but my interest, I could feel was that I was much inclined towards business. My dad was a businessman in Kathmandu. We had a shop. So I had seen business from my childhood, I would say. Since class 6 or 7, I used to go to the shop. I used to see numbers, sales, profits. So this was something which I used to get excited when I used to hear these terms. So I see myself as I saw that I'm more inclined, I have more interest towards business, more interest towards corporate, towards companies, all these legal, the tax compliances, how to make a company, how does the company function, how you make a sales, how you grow your business. So this was something which I was really inclined. So despite I got 99 and 97 in math and science, but still I opted for management. Okay, so that was one thing. So now people say how to determine the interest. So in my case, I was a bit clear that I have interest towards business. So that is fine. But many students, धेरैलाई थाहा हुँदैन कि interest चाहिँ कुन चाहिँ subject मा छ, right? So in that case, one thing is that you should have the knowledge. You should have the knowledge what are the prospects. यदि साइन्स लियो भने अगाडि के प्रोस्पेक्ट छ, 3-4 साल पछि के what are the career options, that you should know. The prospects of science, management, humanities, sabai भन्दा important, the first thing is you should get this knowledge ki what is there in science, what is there in management, what is there in humanities. Before making a decision, you should get this knowledge. Second is evaluate your own skills and competencies, because no one understands you better than you. So you are the only one who can evaluate your skills, your competencies, what are you good at, and based on your skills and competencies, you have to choose your domain which will align to your skills, right? So this becomes very important, and this is the part which will lead you to decide whether you choose science or management or whatever. So I think so today what we are deciding, we are discussing the prospects of management. So I would like to thank KMC that they are organizing such a platform for the students where they are getting to know what is there in management, and they must have organized similar for science and law as well. So today we'll talk about management. If you feel that if you go for management, what are the various options available to you? And I think this is very critical, because this is the first step. Only after this you can evaluate your skills, and then you can decide, right? So this is the first step, understand prospect of management. So what I will be discussing more on is, first I'll discuss on the management domain. Get management has, what are the plethora of opportunities management has, the first thing. Second, the courses available, what are the courses in management. Third are the broad subjects to read. And fourth is the career options what you have. And finally, my journey towards a chartered accountancy, how it has been, and how was it. Okay, so understand that one thing which many people feel is management, तो जुन स्टुडेन्टहरुको मार्क्स त्यति धेरै आउँदैन, त्यो स्टुडेन्टहरु चाहिँ म्यानेजमेन्टमा जान्छन्, right? But it is false, it is extremely false. Okay, I got good marks in, I was first in my school, so I've got good marks, but still I went for management. And there's nothing like, management is equally competitive as science. Okay, so it's not that if you go to science and if you go to these domains, then only you'll have a good career. Okay, so management has equal scope as a science has. So this is the first and foremost thing which you should have in your mind. So in the mind, don't have those preconceived notions that science is better, and I will, if I take management, I will be substandard to that. It is nowhere linked to that. Okay, it's all about your interest, as I said, all about your skills, your competencies, and that should never be a factor that management is lower than science. Okay, so this should never be a factor while deciding it. So what is management all about? So there are some terms like business, companies, sales, marketing, finances, compliance, accounts, data, numbers. So just feel that when you hear these words, business, all these words, so how do you feel? Do you feel like this is your calling, this is your interest? Or do you feel like, no, I don't want these things. I want something like aerodynamics, physics, or gravity, force, density. If you feel more connected to those words, then it is not, then management might not be your calling. But if you like this, because the entire ecosystem, the entire surrounding after you pursue management will be around this. It will be all about business, companies, profits, how to make sales, how to manage people, human resource, marketing, accounts, audits, taxes and compliance, legal compliance, international tax, all those things. It's all about a company, all about business. Right? So we won't be talking that, okay, how do I fix the website of my company? No, that is not management deal with. It will be dealing with, okay, if I get a website, I can reach these many peoples. How to make a website, that and science people will do, that an IT guy will do, right? So management deals with all these things. So just evaluate yourself that when you see these things, how do you feel? Do you think these things are your interest? So this is just a broad way to give a just top overview of how to explain management. And if I talk of courses, okay, so I would divide it into two parts. One is the professional degree, one is academic degree. Okay, so what's the difference is, like in professional degree, we have like chartered accountant, it's a professional degree, like a CMA, cost and management accountant, company secretaryship, chartered financial analyst. I will explain what each of these do, but these are the professional degrees. These are some other courses which you do. Just like an academic degree, when we say, it's like BCom, it's BBA, MBA. So just like we have been studying in class 10, we did class 12, then we go for BCom, BBA, MBA. So this is a structured way, and this is like academic degree. And this is something which you need to call yourself to give yourself a qualification, because even though I'm a CA, if someone asks me that what is your academic qualification, I would say it's a graduate, because I've done BCom. It's recently CA has also been termed as a master degree, so I can say myself as a master's as well. So academics and professional, you have to understand the difference. Okay, so academics is something which you will have to do anyways, because you can't be like class 12. You can't just pass class 12 and you can do your CA and complete it. You should have at least an academic degree of BCom at least, so that because many opportunities they say they need a graduate. So for that role, you will need the academic degree. And this CA, CMA, CS, these are professional degrees. Okay, so this is one difference. The courses, I think in management, these are the courses. Usually they can be more of hotel management and hospitality sector as well, but overall, if you see, these are these courses in management. Okay, so now if you talk about a bit of subjects, that what subjects do we study. So first I'll talk about the academic degree, like the BBA, BCom, MBA. So what are the academic degree? So again, the BBA is the undergraduate, Just like after 12th, you will do your undergraduate. After that, you do a postgraduate, UG and PG. So the bachelor's thing. So when we talk of bachelor's, BBA, BCom, the overall subject, it might be a bit different, but overall it will be you will be given a broad knowledge of what fields. You will be given of business management, human resource management, marketing, finance and accounts, business law, economics, management information system, how reports are prepared, how MIS are done, international business, all these things. Okay, so these are the typical limits. It's again a broad way, but yeah, these are typical subjects which we will deal with. Business management, it will be all about how to manage men, money, materials, machinery, all those things, how to manage in a business. Because just imagine that in any company which you go, there are many people who work, how to manage them, how to build a corporate structure, how to do the reporting thing, how to make that authority and responsibility balance. So all these things, business management comes into that. HR management, an employee, the company where I work, there are 35,000 employees. So 35,000 employees, how do you manage the salary? How do you manage the promotion of the employees, whether the employees are motivated? So there is a separate department that does it. So human resource management. Marketing, you have to sell your goods. Without marketing your goods, no one will ever purchase it. The world is about marketing, right? So marketing is again something which you'll read. Finance and accounts, I always call finance as the blood circulation of any company, because the cash flow is something, if you don't take care of, the company is going to die. So finance and accounts, again a very important subject which you'll be reading. Business law, legal compliance, many companies get shut if they don't follow the legal formalities. There should be someone who is knowledgeable about all the business law and who knows how to comply it. So this is something which you will study. Business economics, how your sales, profit, demand, elasticity of demand works. If I raise the price, how my demand will be affected. All those things. MIS is again about a more bit about the applications which we use in day-to-day working in finance. International business, again the international taxation part. So when I say finances, it takes care of the taxation part, the costing part, all those things. Okay, so these are broad terms. Okay, so you might not able to be appreciate each and every term which I use, but it is something you will get the gist of, just like what it is around. And when I talk of masters, simply speaking, it is just becoming expert in any one of these. You can do MBA in HR, you can do MBA in marketing, you can do MBA in finance. So these are the options where you can do your masters, because any one person cannot be expert in all these things. Okay, so that is where you do your bachelor's, where you get a broad knowledge about all these things, and then in the MBA you have to decide which specialization you want to do. So this was about the academic degree. Okay, now coming to the professional degree, again the chartered accountancy. This is if I annotation. So if I talk of chartered accountancy degree, there is corporate accounts, taxation and audit. This is where a CA specializes in accounting, in taxation and in audit. We read finance, we read law, we read costing as well, but the specialization where a CA is known for, it's known for accounting, it's known for taxation, both income tax and indirect tax, and audits. This is where CA specialized. Okay, and if you talk of a CS, it's specialized in corporate law and compliance, because a company, it has to comply a lot of formalities of the Companies Act. A Companies Act governs a company. There are many institution as well who wants a company to do some filings, who wants the company to do some compliance. Though there should be one person who takes care of all of these, right? So CS is a degree who takes care of that. Cost and work accountant takes corporate costing and accounting. Chartered financial analyst, if you have known of the capital market, the stock market, and the bond market, the primary and secondary capital markets. So all these things, the specialization in finances. So again, might not be able to know exactly what we do here, what we do as a CFA, but again, it is around the stock market thing, because how company procures money, how to raise a loan, how to invest in bonds and earn some money. All those things in the CFA. CPA is again like a CA, but based out of US law, accounts and taxation. ACCA is again towards the UK based. Okay, so that was again just a broad way to understand the subject. Now career options, what career you can choose if you get into management. So we have done the courses, we have done the subjects which are there in the courses. Now after you become, like I become a CA, so what are the career options for me? So as a CA, what I can do my own practice. I can open my own firm. I can do the audits, I can do tax audit, I can give consulting, or what I'm actually doing. I'm in a corporate job. So corporate job is also an option for a CA. He can do management consulting, more around the business part. He can manage on how a company can go around managing its finances, and he can do tax consulting. How can someone do a tax planning and save his tax? And similarly, entrepreneurs, if he can start his own venture, not his own practice, but a own venture. If he has a good idea, he can definitely go into that. So it's a option for CA. For CMA, CS, CPA, all this, they can either go for a company job, they can go for own practice. If a CS goes for own practice, they will have to solve the queries of the other companies, right? And corporate job is like a normal job, right? CFA, this is a term you might not have heard very often. It's a portfolio manager, like managing your portfolio of stocks, shares, and all these things. So yeah, this is, some might be a bit of high level and you might not able to understand, but okay, working with private equity and all this done by CFA. Other careers like actuaries, valuing, like a valuation of something. If a company wants to buy other company, so how do it go around the price? Kun price मा तो company like should be buy. So that is a valuation part, which again a management professional will do. Tax consultants, all these things are there. And other hand, this is a professional degree. If you go for BCom, BBA, MBA, so like our previous speaker said, you can become a CEO of a company. If you do an MBA, you can do a job as a consulting job in a corporate as a manager, because you start as a manager and then you climb up the corporate ladder and then you reach to the CEO level. It's not everyone reaches to a CEO level. It depends on your capability, how dedicated and how committed you are. So these are the broad way of career options. So this is particularly one other emerging career options, because I saw some questions which someone asked that now the IT sector is booming. So will the accounting and auditing lose its sign? No one will go for an accountant because a robot can do accounting. So many people are going around this key up to now. Even the, what we call it, the computer itself can do various consulting. He can do data analysis, all these things. So will management, or will the career of a management professional die? So it's nowhere like that. Being a management professionals, they need people who understand finance. An engineer can make a website, an engineer can make a robot who can do things, but who will explain the robot how the things are done, right? So a management professional is required to tell the programming of the robot. Like if this is something like that, then just like if I give you any example, that if the sales is made at this prices, then this is the total discount that we should give. So the logic or the compliance or anything with the management professional has his capability to think. So that is something which is inevitable. And even I think this is an emerging career option for us as well. It's not that only the computer science background students can only come into this field. Even I being a CE, I being from a management, I've never studied anything related to coding and all, but I still recently I see that there are many people who have involved in some learning some programming language and doing some stuffs like making their own robot as well, being from a management background. So there are things which even we as a management consultant, we can be involved in this. Okay, so this is something which you should know. Risk analyst, how to, let's say mostly in the banks it is used, using some statistical models. We try to figure out what is the non-performing assets, what is the bad debts they have. So all these things, financial modeling, IT driven financial services, by using various APIs and apps, you can give some financial services to others. So these are emerging career options. The artificial intelligence and the machine learning, what we say, all these things, even management has a equal chance of coming at the forefront of this. They won't be at the back end. They have, because the thing with the financial acumen which they have, no one other than finance professional has this. So this is the asset for us. And even though, despite the fact IT is emerging, we have an equal option. Okay, so that is something which I wanted to share. So now coming to my journey part, I would keep it a bit brief, nothing much in detail. So 2012 AD, I passed SLC from, I already showed you my SLC marks it. So 85.60% undergo boarding school is in Bhotewal, Kathmandu. I did from there. I chose management Kathmandu Model School as a for pursuing my class 11th and 12th. And I studied there with business studies as optional. In 11th, I had business studies. in 12th, we were given an option of either marketing or mathematics. In 12th, we have this. I don't know if there has been any recent changes, which I'm talking 2014. So that time we had business studies in the 11. We could choose like mathematics, business studies, computer science, and something else as well. So I chose business studies as optional. I got 84% in class 12th. After that, I chose charter accountancy as my future career option. April 2014, I enrolled in AOC. It's an institute in Kathmandu. Now CA has 3 levels. I think you must all be knowing or might not be knowing as well. CA has 3 levels: CPT, IPC, and finals. Okay. So okay, CPT is for 6 months. So April 2014, I enrolled. And I think okay, sir, I'll just give you a bit of subjects in CPT. What subjects are there in CPT? So about accountancy, economics, mercantile law, mathematics. Out of these 4 subjects, economics, accounting, economics, and mathematics, these 3 subjects we have already read in class 11 and 12. It's not a new subject. Only this law part, this mercantile law, is a new subject for us. So it is more of a like a entrance test. And currently when I gave it, it was an objective exam. Now I think that even there might be some changes in the subjects as well, and there might be changes in the structure, because that time it was objective, now it has become subjective. So now there are some business correspondence, essay writing, or some letter writing as well. So that you can once update in the ICA, in the ICANN site or ICA site, what are the subjects. I'm talking about the India board, because I enrolled in Indian board, Indian Chartered Accountant Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and you can do CA from Nepal as well. That is not an issue. So this level is just to give a basic knowledge of accounts and law. Out of these 4 subjects, only accounts and law are the subjects which just carry forward. In IPC and finance, these 2 subjects will be there at an advanced stage. Okay. So CPT, April 14, I appeared for CPT, and April 14, I enrolled for CPT. December 14, I qualified CPT with all India first rank. After that, I did my IPC. I did IPC from Kathmandu as well. Okay, in the same institute. And after that, IPC. So IPC is totally a different game from CPT. It has very new subjects. If I talk of the subjects in IPC, it is the accounting, business law. So these 2 were there in CPT as well, right? Now new subject comes. It is cost accounting and financial management. So this cost accounting and financial management has now been broken into 2 different subjects. Earlier there were 7 subjects. Now there are 8 subjects. Cost FM has been in 2 subjects. Okay. So in the group 2 we have for advanced accounting, auditing, IT, and SM, information technology. So all these out of 7, only accounting and business law is what we read in CPT, and all these are new subjects. And the time period is just 9 months. 9 months of time period, I have to study all these subjects. So one thing for all those aspirants who are looking to come into CA, first of all, understand whether the management is your calling, whether business, accounting, taxation is your calling. And after that, because this level requires a lot of hard work. Okay, many people say that smart work is important than hard work and all these things, but hard work is required. Okay, it might be that some cases smart work will work, but here you have to study. If I share my personal experience of studying till class 12th, I don't used to study every day from coming college, from coming from KMC. I don't used to study each day. It may be like when exams are there and when there are some homeworks or all these things, I used to study 1 or 2 hours maybe every day, and then it was normal. When I enrolled in CPT, that was the first time where I got to know, because even I had a dream of getting all in the first rank when I enrolled in CPT. So that was where I had to study around at least 3 to 5 hours on a daily basis for entire 6 months. And when it came to IPC, the level was more higher, and every day, apart from the college, apart from the institute where I used to go, morning 6:30 to 2 o'clock, the institute, and then after coming home again we have to study at least 5 to 6 hours. Okay, so that is my personal experience of how I used to study. So this requires hard work and smart work maybe also. So that thing you must keep in mind, okay, if you're opting for chartered accountancy. So I was just okay. So November 2015, I qualified CIPC again with all India first rank, and then I went to India for Delhi for CA finals. So 3 steps are there: CPT, IPC, finals. Okay, when you go to finals, you have to do your articleship. So articleship I did at EY, and 2016 I started my articleship. 3 years I was there in Gurgaon in Delhi, and I did my articleship from there. And the academic part, which I said you the BCom, BBA. So I did BCom honors from Delhi University, and it was side by side. It was not a regular course. It was an IGNOU. So IGNOU is Indira Gandhi National Open University. So Open University, what we mean by this is that you can just enroll yourself, you can go for exams. You don't have to go for classes. You just go and you give the exams. I gave exams for 18 to 324 subjects. In the 3 years, my BCom was completed and I got my graduate degree. Okay. So I did my articleship at there. Articleship was something which is the heart of CA. This is the core thing. Okay. I learned many lessons during articleship, which I think you can never learn by studying the book. It is something which you learn only when you go out and you go for articleship and you work with the corporate. So one, I study how to live with parents, how to live without parents, because I was in Delhi. I have always been lived with parents in Kathmandu. So one thing which you become a bit independent, what is the corporate environment, how companies work, how things work in companies, how does the company function, what is the manager, what is the executive level, what are the different levels, and how reporting works over there, how to talk to people. This was it was a major thing for me. It was a very difficult for me to adopt this thing as well. How to write mails, how to write corporate mails, how to work in a team, how to manage time, balancing work, studies, and personal life. This was the most difficult part for me. MS Excel, SAP, and other applications which you learn during the articleship. So this is a great lesson which we learn. So yeah, so then I qualified CA with already a fifth rank, and then currently I'm working in Indian Oil as accounts senior accounts officer, and it has been 2 years, May 19 till now I've been working here. So so this is pretty much my the journey of mine, from starting right from SLC to presently working as a in Indian Oil. It has been a great journey for me, and yeah, it was something which I wanted as well. So one thing which we all want to be successful. So some universal laws of success which I personally think, and this is applicable for each one of you: success doesn't depend upon academic work. It's not that my marks were good or my marks are not good, so I won't be successful. It doesn't depend on which stream you choose. It does not depend on where you study. That the institute where I studied, it's not that everyone should go and study in that institute only. It does not depend on that. It doesn't depend upon your career choice, which career you chose. It doesn't depend on inborn talent. It doesn't depend on luck. So you would say, what does success depend on then? So success actually depends on your commitment, how committed you are, on your passion, how passionate you are, whether are you willing to put on the hard work. Smart work is important, but hard work, you can never defeat hard work. Okay, it depends on how big vision you have, how big dream you have, what goal you have for yourself, and it depends on your mindset. It depends on you and no one else. Okay, so this is something which you all should remember. And yeah, whenever you take your decision, all this should depends, success depends on you. That's something which you also know. So yeah, so with this I'm done for my talk. So it was great to come and interact with you all. And yeah, if any questions, if someone would want to ask, then I'm willing to answer.